Hi, so here we are, route number 3. This is the certificate of sponsorship route. And I'm not trying to give you, this is not an advert for business, but I'm actually a registered UKVI, as United Kingdom Visas and Immigration, that's the government organisation, registered sponsor. I have been for about, I think, 15 years, something like that anyway. And I am authorised to issue certificates of sponsorship. If I issue you with a certificate of sponsorship or any other sponsor, sometimes venues are able to sponsor as well. There are many sponsors around. There are visa agencies as well. And some people are ripping people off big time. So please ask around about the fees for this. I'm not going to say anything on this video about it, but it's important to know that there are huge variations. I mean, huge variations with ridiculous amounts of money being mentioned for some companies. I'll say no more about that. So here's the deal. What is a certificate of sponsorship? Basically a number. The sponsor would take the information from you, a passport scan, information about where you live, information on fees that are being paid to you for the shows. They would normally ask to see contracts and check that you have status in the job in which you are working. And then the sponsor can issue a certificate of sponsorship, which you don't need anything else other than the certificate. You don't need bank statements, zero, nada. You don't need to bring any contracts to the border, nothing, because the sponsor has checked all this already. That's the way the government looks at it. And what happens then, in my case, I usually give a cover letter with the sponsorship number, the certificate number and the certificate. You go to the border, you go to the immigration officer desk. You must not go in via the e-gates ever on a certificate of sponsorship or any other route. You have to identify yourself to an officer. The officer should then take your passport, stamp it, write on it that you're working for that particular sponsor or working as that sponsor has certified you for a set period of time. It can be up to 90 days, but in order to justify that, the sponsor would need to see a number of dates over that period. Typically, it's for less time. So you're coming in to do a tour of, say, 10, 14 days. You come in, do the tour, it's for that period. Sponsorship can also be for multiple entry. So it means you can come and do a few gigs, go back home or go somewhere else out of the UK and come back in to do the gigs. Yay, all cool, really good. The deal is there cannot be, if you're in the UK all the time, more than 14 days between any date. Otherwise you need another certificate. However, due to a change, or a fairly recent change, if you leave the country and come back in again, that clock stops. So it means that it's relatively easy to work for an extended period of time under a certificate of sponsorship. And that is all you need, nothing else. So it's safe. I don't know of anyone who's ever been refused on a certificate at the border, and stress-free. So that's the way it works for the certificate of sponsorship route for non-visa nationals. There you go.